Good evening, folks. Welcome to another edition of Grumpy Old Spurs. This is the show you have all been waiting for. The Grumpy gang have not been on to discuss Levy being out. So you've got an hour of us tonight talking about it. And obviously, let me just introduce the people who are on. First of all, Talk Sports' very own Dave Harris, all the way from Australia. Dave, how are you?
I'm very well. I'm very well, and it's just look at this. Look at it. He's on time, and we're at a new night. This is our new night going forward, Monday nights. I'm very well, and I know that the Grumpies Awards at the end of the season, Grumpies Awards, 30,000 people voted that one of their worst moments of the season, non-football, was me ringing TalkSport. I'm really sorry, Gibber. I just couldn't help myself.
I saw it, Dave, and I thought I'll put it on. Is this? It can't be. So I put it on, and then I could hear your dulcet tones, and I turned it off, and I thought, wait, you are in Keith Parker's leagues of bad books now, Dave. You are on written warning.
Is it my final or my first warning? Oh, is it number one?
First written warning. So anyway, back to Dave in a minute, but that obviously with us as usual, or most of the time, is Last Word on Spurs' very own, currently also known as Levynomics. Connor, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, good to see you both. Good to be on to chat about our former esteemed leader, Daniel Levy. So yeah, looking forward to getting into it.
Well, I mean, you must have talked this out to death, Connor, because you've done some marathon shows, haven't you? Tottenham Talk Show, Last Word on Spurs. What else you been on? What else you been on in the past week?
Everything but TalkSport, I think.
Blue Peter.
I leave that to Dave, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
TalkSport's for Dave, mate. That's Dave's domain. You leave that to him.
Okay.
But, look, I'll lead the conversation tonight. All I'm going to say is, let's get this show done. Let's get it out the way. Because for far too long now, especially since I've been doing this, we've talked far too much about the ownership of this club. It is just a constant. It's been a constant. People falling out over it. People talking absolute bollocks about it. Let's just get this out the way tonight. Get it all off our chest, and let's just move on and start talking about football. And the owners can be the people that are doing the business in the background, hopefully. So, look, everyone, that's what we're after tonight. So,
are you saying that you're from now on, after this show, we're never allowed to mention the L word ever again?
Well, I'm sure. Well, we've got Connor, haven't we? We've got his namesake. We can't ever not. He'll always be Levynomics. But, let's hopefully get to a point where we can just trust the ownership or an ownership and discuss football. But I mean, what we got then? So, guys, we may as well just get straight into it. Dave, let's have your reactions to you get the message or you pick up your phone first thing in the morning, as I know you do, straight onto Twitter. You see that Levy's been bombed out. How are you feeling?
Well, I'm wearing this kind of Ben Sherman Target shirt today because obviously from a corporate point of view, Daniel has been shot. And so I did record an instant reaction video on Friday night Sydney time with me waving a bottle of champagne in the air. And I did wake up 3 a.m. Friday morning and I saw on WhatsApp from another group that he'd gone. And I was like, what's this about? And then I saw that glorious news. And then I played Beautiful Day by U2 for about 15 times. To be clear, I didn't play Beautiful. Isn't it Beautiful Day by Take That or something? Or it's whatever. I don't play
The Greatest Day, isn't it?
There we go. I did not play The Greatest. You would have done, Gibbo.
I did, yeah.
Take That.
I did, mate. I am a big Take That fan. I went to see that concert when they brought that out, Dave, at the Ricoh Arena in Coventry.
Do you prefer Take That with Robbie or without Robbie?
I can take or leave either, mate. I can take or leave it without Robbie.
Right. Okay. This is the first. This is the second shocking revelation, ladies and gentlemen, of today. We'll get to the other one later on, I suspect. So I look. I got to be honest. I was absolutely delighted as someone tweeted, "What will me and Leon talk about now? Our lives have got a massive Levy void in it." And I'm just. This year's been a great year. We've won our first trophy since 2008. Oasis have got back together, which you went and saw without Robbie Williams, I believe.
Yeah,
Gibbo.
no Robbie Williams for that.
And now old Lord Vader of the Tottenham boardroom has gone. So I'm absolutely delighted. I'm over the moon. As I mentioned on TalkSport last night, what has happened to him in the corporate world? He has been in the corporate world. To be clear, in case anyone from the club's watching this, he has been shot. The role of executive chairman is no more. And so when the role is made redundant in the corporate world, it means that he's probably had a payout, which we'll find out about in the accounts, because that role is no longer there anymore. And he's been doing that for 20 odd years. He's still got overall, I think 26% of the overall shares. He owns him through his family trust in the club. But he's no longer, he's been taken off the old website. I saw that this morning. Removed like a
Did you go
former
looking
Russian.
for it?
I did go looking for it. And him and Cullen have been removed. It's like the Russian communist leaders, when they go, they go. So I'm absolutely delighted. Now over to the artist formerly known as Levynomics.
Let's hear it. Let's have it then, Connor. Because I mean, mate, you must. Is this the same speech you've given out on all the various shows? But obviously, for the grumpy old Spurs
Masses.
loyal grumpy old Spurs fans who only tune in to watch grumpy old Spurs, let's have it, Connor. Come on.
I'm like, Woody in Toy Story, where you pull the string on my back and I just rant about Levy and Enoch, and that's all I repeat. No, but look, I do. I think, like Davo said, I obviously have to completely recreate my brand identity now, don't I? And reinvent my personality, because it was only ever about Levy and Enoch, and that's all I could ever speak about. So I've had similar accusations of that, Dave. But yeah, look, I think I'm very, very happy with the news. Similar to Dave, I think I'm not sure it's anything. There's been these murmurs and rumours for some time, obviously over the summer, but I'm not sure how much any of us really believed it would actually happen. So it did come out of the blue somewhat. There was no sort of in the nose dropping. There's going to be an announcement tomorrow or any of that type of stuff, to my knowledge. So the announcement definitely came out of the blue. It was one of the days I actually decided to go in the office. So I was travelling back on the tube when the news dropped, and then suddenly, as I got off the tube with signal, I had a whole host of notifications on my phone.
I'm surprised
huge.
I'm surprised that you're public, having seen you on the last word of Spurs. It didn't come up to you on the London Underground and go, "Have you heard the news? Have you heard the news?"
Yeah. Signing autographs left, right, and centre, and yeah. But no, it was good news. But for me, Gibbo, I think you're optimistic about the fact that we may not talk about ownerships anymore, because I feel like we may, even with our brand new owners, the Lewis family. So
Brand new.
yes,
I don't want to say optimistic. More, and it's the hope that kills you. I'm hoping that one way or another, whether the Lewis family put their money where their mouth is, as they've been saying, or that or whatever they're saying, and then they do get bought out, and then the new ownership comes in that puts football at the forefront. So I'm something I thought I wouldn't do anymore past a certain age with Tottenham, but I'm hoping again. I'm hoping, Connor, that we won't have to.
Well, I mean, our last owner was Alan Sugar. Did you love him, Gibbo?
No. No, not really, mate. But Dave, this is the other thing. You know, even back then, like I knew Sugar, like the Alan Sugar thing was what it was. But I'm far more comfortable and far more interested in talking about football, the players that play football, the coaches that coach the football, and like the results and stuff. That's all I'm really interested in talking about. But John, I mean, yeah,
He's got a point. He's
yeah,
got a point.
yeah. It's the hope that kills you. But what can you do at this point? I mean, let's get opinions on Dave.
Yes.
Why do you think this has happened now?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's happened sooner than it was anticipated? And what were the reasons behind it happening at this point, in your opinion?
Well, as I said to my top showbiz friend Simon Jordan last night,
Yes.
or this morning, or whenever it was that he has been deliciously outmaneuvered in the boardroom and the corporate world, and I just find the whole thing beautiful. Because what has happened is that, first of all, our favourite dog-loving board member retired, but still had a 3-month handover to turn left on a plane and hang out in Hong Kong or South Korea. Because whenever I've left a job before, I've disappeared on a jolly for a few weeks. Anyway, so that's number one. His ally left. The next thing is, I think a key thing was, and we have talked about this, that Cherrington joined the board on a non-exec level as a board member because is that Ralph in the background?
Yeah, that's Ralph, mate. I'm going to go and just push the door to you. Carry on.
Ralph is celebrating the fact that Levy's gone. Ralph is changed for Tottenham big time.
Yeah,
he's happy. Anyway, so what I'm saying is, with from a corporate point of view, and I kind of I do know about these kind of things, is that Cherrington joining was very significant. The significant things one was Lewis moving the club his ownership of the club to that family trust, which he's not involved in anymore because of the court case, which he was convicted of insider trading, and so he didn't want the assets to potentially be seized by US regulators, which can happen. That's number one. Number two was Cherrington joining the board because he very much represents the interests of the Lewis Family Trust and the Lewis family, and I think that was significant. Number three, I think they talked about the board ordered a review of the footballing operations because, as we know, our new owners, the Lewis family, want to win more and more on the field success. They are the future. And then with Vinay coming in, you have Vinay as a CEO reporting to an executive chairman. That's a chairman who's involved in the day-to-day, and you've got a CEO who's involved in the day-to-day. That doesn't work. And then, according to reports, Levy was blindsided by the whole thing last Thursday. Now, I'm 50-50 on that. On the one hand, this great negotiator who knows business and is ruthless would surely be aware of what's coming his way. But on the other hand, I sometimes think Daniel lacks a little bit of social awareness, a bit of EQ to read the room. That's often been said about him. So, and also his ego as well. Look at the Neville interview, look at the red wine interview. So I think that he may not have seen it coming. So that's my take on it. We'll get onto the Lewis family in a minute if you want, or we can go on to the Lewis family now.
We've had that from Connor, like your take on what Dave's saying. I mean, I should imagine that you'll probably agree on a fair bit of it, but have you got any? I'm being serious.
Connor's very upset. Levy's gone.
Do you differ on why it happened at this point, or there was anything that triggered it to happen sooner, in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, look, I agree with a lot of what Dave said. I think I'm more skeptical of this news that's being reported that he only found out on Thursday when we all found out. For someone who's been at the club for 24, 25 years and owns over 25% of the football club, I don't think that's the type of person that you turn up at his office and you say, "Can you pack your things up? We're going to frog march you out of the office," right? And off he goes out of Lily White House, walks down to Seven Sisters, and gets the tube home. I just can't necessarily see that that's the way that that would have played out. For me, I think I do agree with Dave that he lacks some EQ, but he isn't stupid. For all of these flaws, I don't think you could call him stupid.
No,
So
went to Cambridge.
yeah. So I think, he would have. I think he would have been aware that that there was a succession plan in place all the way back when Charrington was first hired, to be honest. And Charrington officially went onto the board in March. When Charrington goes onto the board, Levy either had to have a big say in that or interviewed him. And you got to remember, this is someone that Levy is going to know as well, right? Because they mix in the same circles, and Charrington was a trusted friend of Joe Lewis, Levy's a trusted friend, and so it's all interlinked, right? So I think he would have known at that point. I similarly think when Vinay came in, to Dave's point, he knows that whole executive chairman CEO thing doesn't quite work. The surprise for me, and hence why I think it's something a bit bigger than what's being reported, is you have to remember Levy is completely terminated as a director, right? So he's lost his £3 million plus salary in certain years. That was 6 or 7 million. He also has not even been made a non-executive director of the board, which is what I anticipated was going to happen with him if he ever moved away from being executive chairman. So there's no one on the board that's representing Daniel Levy's interests whatsoever. You've got Charrington on the board representing Joe Lewis's interests. But Daniel Levy is now a silent minority shareholder, but that minority is a sizable minority because it's more than 25%, which is quite an important number because it becomes quite difficult to force someone to sell their shares when they own more than 25% of the business, right? So I think that's interesting. So my theory is that and I sort of debated this and over the last couple of days as the news has been breaking and what's being reported, I think this is all part of a wider exit plan for Levy, and I anticipate that the ENIC are going to stick around for a while, but they're going to sell Daniel Levy's stake in the club.
From here, I think you said we're going to sell Daniel Levy to the highest bidder.
Yeah. £5. No, they're going to sell his stake in the club to someone that is able to actually front some cash up themselves. They'll then get to benefit from that upside when this new investor invests some of their own money. Levy gets to run off into the sunset. I'm sure he'll probably move abroad as per a number of wealthy people in the UK right now. Maybe he'll go and sip cocktails with Joe Lewis in the Bahamas. Who knows?
Maybe he'll move to Sydney and we can get to hang out together.
Was there a talk? Was there a vote of no confidence? Like I said, I've not read a lot of this. I've literally the bare facts are all I pretty much knew and got. Was interested in. Really, was there a vote of no confidence in him or anything like that, or is that like Is there rumours of that, or?
Well, the board itself is if reading this correctly, is Matthew Coldcuts is still on the board, Cherrington's on the board, and Levy's on the board. Now, they could have
Jonathan Turner as well, who's a non-executive director.
Okay, so if it was the case that they've organised that Turner, Cherrington, and Coldcuts all voted, there was a board resolution to remove him as a director, is potentially one way of doing it, or the fact is that he is the executive chairman and is told his role is no longer. The board or whoever has voted that there's a restructure, the board is no longer. I think that what they did is they used a consultancy to do the recommendation to the board. Lo and behold, the recommendation is that you don't need to have an executive chairman and a CEO. That role's no longer there. That's my guess. It's just a guess. And that's what I think's happened. And he didn't. Whether he saw the writing on the wall or not, I don't know. And I think that's what's happened here. So the interesting question is, so Levy overall for his family trust owns 26%, yeah? Then you've got
Above
Enoch.
Tottenham, effectively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Enoch have got what of the overall? Was it 60 odd?
Just
Something
over
like that.
60. Yeah.
Okay. And then everyone else is the rats and mice shareholders left over from the days that we were listed and they never sold their shares, right? So my question is, if someone comes in to buy tomorrow and they bought the Enoch stake, which gives them the majority shareholding, is it correct to say that even he's at 25, 26, Levy can't do anything about it? He can't
Can't
stop
do
it.
anything about them buying that bit.
No.
Well, are you talking about because the Lewis family? Sorry, the Lewis family owns
Trust.
60%.
Yeah, so the
Yeah,
Lewis
yeah.
family trust owns 60%. So someone comes in and buys the Lewis family 60%. Levy can still sit there on his 25, 26, and you've got your rats and mice staying as your rats and mice, yeah? So go on.
Yes, whereas if someone came in and bought both the Lewis family bit, the 60%, plus the Levy bit, the 25%, the minority shareholders, which is about 13%, they would be forced to sell with everyone else because they've got less than 25%. And there's this thing in UK corporate law called drag along rights when you have a takeover where you can basically force the minority. With Levy's greater than 25%, he doesn't need to be necessarily forced. It's really difficult to force him to sell his bit. So this is why my theory is it's not really in anyone's interest. You know, I think there's been a lot of reporting. It's got people are getting very excited. It's very much like Succession, the TV show, and people are making
Great
a
show.
bit of a soap opera, a soap opera out of this. But I think in reality, there would have been a very upfront conversation with him way back when. It would have been, look, we want to move in a different way. We want to front some more cash up. You can't afford to. This is a good opportunity for you to exit. We're not going to have you as an executive chairman anymore, so you're going to lose that salary. But we're going to give you a really nice exit package in terms of your employment, and also, by the way, we're going to find a buyer for your stake, and you can walk off into the sunset with 900 million, right? This is my theory as to how it's going to be a lot more amicably managed, I think, than is being reported.
Well, I mean, he's worth $500 million now, according to the Sunday Times rich list. So he's currently worth $500 million, right? And if they would have been publicly listed, I might be wrong here, so Connor, if they were publicly listed and they dumped him the way they did, and he had 25%, I thought that when they got rid of Venables, they tried. He issued an injunction, and part of the injunction was one's unfair dismissal, and the other one may have been affecting his minority shareholder rights. Because there's some instances where if you feel your minority shareholder rights are being, unfairly treated, you can stop what's going on. But I only thought that was in the listed world. Is that right, or am I talking rubbish?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, the thing is, removing him as a director, that's normal power that a majority shareholder might have. And as I say, I don't think this chat of sort of votes and no confidence and all that. This type of stuff just doesn't go on in the real world at this level.
No, it
for
doesn't.
organisations this size, it would have been a sit down, a very amicable conversation about, we want to make this exit work in the smoothest way, because it's in no one's interest. If they pushed Levy out and this was really messy, then Levy later on down the line, when the Lewis family do want to exit, he could play hardball, right? With he's greater than 25%. You don't want that. He's now 63, 64 years of age. Why is it in his interest to, why would you want to be a silent shareholder now with no say on the board whatsoever? And you're not doing the day-to-day operations of the club either. It's in his interest to get out now, if that's the way that they've played it. So I just think it's the boring answer, because we'd all like to speculate there's more going on and there's a soap opera. But for me, I just think it's a lot less interesting than some of the reporting is coming across, to be honest.
Well, that's sound, isn't it? Because really, what we want is just what's best for the club, isn't it? We don't want it all being dragged out in court. Like I said,
no.
We've spent far too much time in the past talking about the
Levy.
obviously, yeah. Well, and Levy, really, but right. Let's move it along a bit then. the Lewis family.
Yep.
What now? What
the new era? The new era?
Brand new era. The
It's
Lewis
brand new.
family, Viv and Chaz, and the two kids,
Chaz and Dave.
Chaz.
What?
Viv and Chaz,
Yep.
Charlie and Vivian, isn't it?
Yep.
Who were meant to be heading this or a big part of the say in this brand new era. Dave, what are we thinking? Seriously now, obviously, what do you think this means? How do you feel about it? The Lewis family, and just let us know your thoughts, mate.
Okay, well, obviously, we don't just throw this show together. It's meticulous.
Yeah.
As we're all agreed, it's a new dawn for the club, correct?
And
there we go. There's dawn, a new dawn, as shining over the day. So, the Lewis family. So, I mean, we are going to get on to everyone's favourite quiz, Levymind, shortly. And one of the questions I was going to put in, but I haven't, is how many members of the Lewis Levy family are employed overall in the Tavistock Enoch Tottenham group? So I understand that Tracy Levy's wife has resigned. I didn't even know that she was. I know she was there. I didn't know she had a job there.
You obviously read the Times on Saturday morning, did you, Dave?
I get the Times, mate. Absolutely. So we had Levy's wife. The good news is I think Dixon of Dock Green. I think he's saved. I don't think he's going anywhere, which was always a bizarre thing. Then we've got Josh Levy, who is the co-CEO of Tavistock, having spent years working his way up through the ranks in the industry. The co-chair of the Tavistock group is that the grandson of Lewis?
Yeah, Nick Butcher. Yeah,
Nick Butcher, not related to Frank. Then we've got Chuck, and then we've got Viv. So I've got 6.
You got more? You got more? Yeah, you've got Vivian's other daughter, not married to Nick. Her other daughter is MD of Tavistock Group. Her name's Alexandra Silverton.
7. We've got the magnificent 7. And obviously John, whenever he went to Tottenham, was hung out in the chairman's suite with Tracy. There we go. And when he had when he's got a sore knee from his running, he goes to see Dr. Silverton. He's in the inner circle with John.
Who is Dr. Silverton?
That's Alexandra Silverton.
So that's 7. And let's not forget the departed Donna Cullen's son.
Yes, here we go, Dave. Donna Cullen's son.
That's what I call Levy Volume 1. Where all the greatest hits are coming out tonight,
They're coming out tonight.
Because according to Gibbo, we are not allowed to talk about Levy after tonight. And we will be fined and kicked off the show. Okay? It's the new policy. So look, I find it very amusing and puts the diss back into ingenious that the Lewis family have now suddenly announced that we want more success. Yeah, all right. Fair play. You got me. Fair play. Wait till you get. Wait. I know. Wait, mate, I've made my bed. Wait till you get to Levymind. All right. So the Lewis family. My apologies. Easy to get the mistake.
Dave, can I interrupt you for 1 second? Sorry. You know what you've missed out on? You should have done a Levy Lewis family smorgasbord. That's what we
next week.
No, can't talk about Levy anymore. Damn, you're so right. By the way, the smorgasbord is now retired until January. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
He'll happily take his second written warning next week, just so he can get up and knock up a Levy Lewis smorgasbord.
Oh, thanks for that, Connor, mate. That is a great idea. And yeah, also I just want to apologise. In true Levy fashion, in the finest traditions of Daniel Levy, we did promise the Boy Hotspur was going to appear tonight. Unfortunately, he has had to pull out, so I hope he's okay for a few personal reasons. Hope it's all fine. So we did promise the Boy Hotspur, and we haven't delivered it in the fashion of Daniel Levy. So there we go. So it's disingenuous to say, keep with it, Gibbo. We're nearly there.
Yeah,
it's disingenuous or disingenuous to say we want more. We've been the generational Tottenham supporting family. We've been there for years, and now we want more success on the pitch. What was interesting about the Vinay video, don't know if you got to watch it. I watched that, not the Langer video, sorry, was when he made that one comment about selling players at the right price. Did you see that bit? I
No.
clocked that, and that was a little bit of a dig at Daniel. So it's very binary here, and they've seen the demonstration. So it's a victory for change for Tottenham and those emails that were sent to the club. That's what tipped him over the edge. That's why he left. It's a victory, and the Lewis family would have seen the chanting from the South Stand. They would have seen the protests in whatever shape, form, and size. So they know now that they've got to deliver, and there'll be pressure to deliver a statement signing in January. But as we all know, January is a very difficult time to do business.
Yeah, Dave,
very difficult.
Here we go, bingo again.
It's my least favourite. It's my least favourite time of the year, says Steve Hitchin.
Can I just, obviously you're saying about that, the protest. So obviously from a very basic point of view, do you think it was also getting to the point where we hear these types of things, but other clubs just didn't want to deal with Levy anymore, did they? Apparently, certain Premier League clubs, that's why we struggle to get players from clubs around us now. They just didn't want to deal with him. And, do you think they're looking at stuff like that as well? When obviously they're thinking of moving him out and just saying, look, it's becoming, if we take them at their word that they want us to win more on the pitch, then that's just another nail in the coffin, isn't it, Connor?
I think that is, without knowing what the ownership's ambition truly is until we see some hard evidence of it. I think probably one of the biggest benefits of Levy going is that point, right? In terms of every negotiation was a war. You can rebuild some bridges. I think what he never quite got to grasp with was the fact that you have to go back to the same football clubs to buy and sell players, right? It's not like, other areas of business where you can go down the road to someone else, or you're the customer and you've got more leverage or whatever it is. And so he could never quite get his head around that. And I think he burnt too many bridges. So I think that is a definite sort of short-term gain of this change. I'm sure the staff at Lily White House will be very happy not to have Daniel Levy checking whether they wipe the toilet seat and close the doors properly and all of that with his micromanagement.
But no bring a dog day to work anymore, Connor, obviously. Because
since Donna's gone.
No bring a dog day.
Yeah.
How long then do you guys, what is a sample size for the new Lewis era? What is a decent sample size that we can sort of take them at their word or judge?
24 years?
Seriously? Yeah. We might not have 24 years.
I don't think I've got 24 years, frankly.
So seriously, Dave, what are you thinking? How do we judge them over how long a period?
Sure. Okay.
Let's have you.
Problem. Okay, so what time is it in England at the moment? It's 9:04, yeah?
Yeah.
9:45. I give him to 9:45. If we ain't signed it, if we haven't won the Premier League by 9:45, I'm going to go down the Opera House with a new poster.
Final whistle blows at West Ham.
Yeah, to the final whistle. If we're not 2 up at West Ham half time, I want them gone.
Yeah,
Edith out, get the Lewis, bring back Levy. He knew what he was doing. Careful what you wish for. What do I want to? Okay, I think in our new era where we want more success on the pitch, more win. We're generational. Win more. Sell at the right place. I'm going with Mike. I'm going with Mike.
Yeah.
I'm going with the man who's in the inner Levy Tabernacle circle.
From the inner sanctums.
From the inner sanctum
of
the inner sanctum. Our man, ITK John, who's gone to see Dr. Silverton. Yeah, I'd give it 2 transfer windows.
Okay, Connor?
Yeah, I probably agree with that. I think there's probably a couple of other bits you might see. I think a new director of football, perhaps, which isn't Paratici. I can't see Paratici now being hired, given he was sort of Levy's man.
That's a shame.
And also,
surely we're not going to be stuck with Langer.
And well, I was about to say there was something telling in the Levy gone statement. Thomas Frank was specifically mentioned, Langer
and
wasn't.
the women's team.
Yeah,
coach.
and the women's team, Martin Ho. Yeah. Yeah. Look, I think you may see a new director of football, so that appointment could be telling, and then we may see a capital injection of some description to see if they actually are going to pump some money in. That would be, telling of some level of ambition. And then yeah, 2 transfer windows, I think, is where you'll see it. I'd
So,
definitely give them summer as well as January, because January
well,
is a difficult time to do business.
so that's what I'm saying. Do you look at January as a time where we maybe just have to add 1 or 2 just to bulk up the squad, and then you say, look, I mean, we're the bingo is coming out tonight, but then do we have a big summer? Do we go big in the summer, and then we can sort of judge after that?
Is this a new project, by the way?
Well, we're using the same old sayings, aren't we?
I think it's another new project. It's a new project.
Definitely
with our new owners.
Yeah, another
the Lewis
new
family
project.
It's the new project with the Lewis family.
But that will be interesting, won't it? How people take that, because let's be let's be honest. There's still going to be certain players that Tottenham could try to go for, but they're not going to get them just because of where we are at the moment. So it's going to be interesting how you judge those windows, isn't it? And the type of players we go for, and obviously it'll be about like, are we willing to pay players' wages? Are we prepared to pay the fees? But for players that aren't at the top level, isn't it? Because unless we really do blow our stack on those players, and they're sort of like mercenaries that like City had to get in to start off their project.
Yep.
That'll be interesting to see how that manifests itself.
I
was about to say, Dave, shall we you've obviously been this is your big thing. So we'll hand the reins over to Dave for Levymind.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Levy Mind. My name is David Davidson, Magnus Magnuson, and welcome to Levy Mind, the follow-up to Lamella Mind, where we paid tribute to the career of Eric Coco Lamella.
Down to 29.
I don't care, because this is the great encore. This is the final tribute to it. This is it. I've
been waiting for this, haven't you, Dave?
I've been working on this for hours, because, as I said, I've got nothing in my life after this. So, ladies and gentlemen, get yourself a pen. Why is Lubo there? Get yourself a pen and paper. We're going to be asking some questions about the reign of Daniel. Gents, have you got your pen and paper ready?
Yes, I have, Dave.
You good to go? You don't get this on Last Word on Spurs.
No, Connor. You do not.
You got a pen and paper.
Huh?
Get it in your notes, Connor.
First question. Here we go. Multiple choice.
I don't actually have a pen and paper. I'll use Microsoft.
That's all right.
Word. There you go.
Okay. Question 1. We'll mark at the end of each one. And ladies and gentlemen at home, play along. Get your pen and papers ready. So don't Google. No cheating. Question 1. Daniel's time on the board began December 2000 and unexpectedly ended September 2025. I'd like you to name the first permanent signing from the time that he was on the board and the last permanent signing of his golden rule of 25 years. Option A, Teddy Sheringham and Xavi Simon. Option B, Stephen Ferguson and Xavi Simon. Option C, Stephen Ferguson and Randall Kolo Muani.
Can Dave, do you have a picture of Stephen Ferguson?
No. I don't. That's not a question. Anyway. Do we want to do the answer now?
It may. You
might as well.
Yeah.
Connor, what do you reckon? What's the answer, do you think?
B.
B? You're going B?
I'm going B because Kolo Muani is on loan, isn't he?
Ah, you're sharp, Gibbo. You're sharp. That was the trick one. Yaz.
Sheringham was signed. What was 92? Was it Sheringham?
No. When he came back, remember?
Oh, sorry.
Sully's gone B. Levy family ITK. He's gone B. The answer is, of course, Stephen Ferguson. Who can everyone remember where we got him from? Scotland. And Xavi Simon, who, of course, I don't think he ever made it. Did he make it to the transfer smorgasbord? I don't think he ever did.
Yeah, he did. I
Yes,
think
he
he put
did.
a picture. I
Was
think he
he
did.
on
He was
there?
on the smorgasbord. Yeah.
Oh, there
Definitely
we
was.
go. There we go. Right. So both of you, 1 out of 1. Well done, gents. Let's move on. Number 2. In 2007, avuncular Dutchman, Martin de Grol, learned he was another casualty of the 15 managers Daniel employed when he was, sorry about the grammar here, when he was sacked the night of UEFA home defeat to Gestafe. How did Martin learn of his fate? Was it A, Dimitar Berbatov said, sorry, boss, at halftime? That was my Bulgarian accent there. Do you like it? B, nephew Rob Grol told him after the game in the tunnel. Or C, comedian Michael McIntyre told him after the game in the tunnel club over a lobster Monet. I've spelt Gestafe wrong as well, apparently.
Yeah.
So, was it Dimitar whilst he was having a halftime cigarette? Was it his nephew Rob Grol? That's my Dutch accent. Or was it funny man Michael McIntyre? Sully's gone with Sully from Top Boy. He's gone for C.
Mate,
Hang
I'm
on
going.
a minute. We've got the Tunnel Club bingo. Yep, there we go. It's the best of, John. This is
This is the best of day.
this is the end. This is the end for me.
I've gone. I mean, they say like your B, his nephew Rob told him after the game in the tunnel. I thought he found out at half time, but I can't believe that it was Berbatov said sorry, boss. So I think because I thought it was at halftime. I think I'm going to say Berbatov. A.
Are you ruling out C, Gibbo? It wasn't Michael McIntyre. Okay.
No, I don't think it was Michael McIntyre.
Connor, what's your thoughts?
Well, yeah, the story's half time, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's Berbatov.
John's gone for B, and John's
well, yeah, because I'm
pretty
wondering, was
clued up on
Berbatov
these.
even? It's 2000 Berbatov, because I'm wondering whether it was the fans all knew at half time and Martin didn't find out himself until after the game. I'm going to go B as well.
Go on then, Dave.
I'm locking in your answers, and the answer is, of course, B. Rob Yole told him after the game in the tunnel, which again, obviously John was. Hang on, where's he gone?
Yeah, so John's put he's guessing.
John was there, obviously. No, John
good.
John was at the game because
it was John who was with Michael McIntyre eating the lobster Monet.
Correct. So that's it. So well done. 2 out of 2. Are you ready for the next question?
Yeah.
Hang on. Let's go. Next question. Right. Question number 3. This is a goodie. Daniel's most successful managerial appointment, Maurizio Pochettino, was shown evidence by him and generations of the Lewis family of wanting what the fans want by not signing a single player for 3 decades. That's a comic exaggeration. Can you name the 2 players signed at the beginning and end of our self-imposed transfer embargo, right? Ooh. So the last one we signed before we didn't sign anyone, and the first one that we signed after we signed that. So hang on a second. Hang on. Do we know this for a fact? Well, Yole said it in his book and in an interview, Yaz. I'll get, you know what?
Straight from the horse's mouth then.
Yeah, so anyway, number A, was it Fernando Loriente and Tanguy Ndombele? Was it B, Luca Mora and Jack Clark? Was it C, Serge Imhoff at halftime, Aurier and Tanguy Ndombele? So it was the last one we signed, then we went on the embargo, and the first one we signed to show that we want what the fans want by not signing a single player for 3 transfer windows. Oh,
I'm going to go. I'm going to go B.
You're going B, are you?
B as well.
I'm going B.
Oh, why?
Just because
I can remember
signing Jack Clark being signed pretty early doors, and people going, "Fucking hell, we signed this bloke for 10 million." Like it was 10 million. I think we signed him for, and I can just remember it being like being sort of like we've waited all this time and we've signed Jack Clark. That's
I agree.
The sort of impression I can remember.
Because because don't forget the Lewis family had nothing to do with any of this at the time. Yeah, remember that.
Yeah.
I just want you to remember that.
Yeah.
And so are you telling me that you were disappointed after 500 days of not signing anyone? We bought some potential from Leeds who never worked out. Is that what you're
I
telling me?
was probably just not very surprised and just shrugged my shoulders and said, "Let's see how this goes."
All right. So we've got and Connor, what are you going for?
Yeah, I'm pretty certain that Jack Clark was the first one in that window. I can't remember the other side, but
Okay. All right. So
because Ndombele was fairly late-ish, I think we chased him for a little while.
Yeah.
okay. So let's look at it here. Sully went for A. Yaz and the plastic population went for C. Obviously, Levy ITK, he's going B. And Vim's going A. How many viewers have we lost now? 5. Anyway, so the answer is, of course, Luca Mora and star signing Jack Clark. Now, where is Jack plying his trade these days? I thought he was
Is he still at Ipswich?
Is it Ipswich?
Maybe, yeah.
He went to. He was at Ipswich last year, wasn't he?
Good signing. Yeah. Right,
Potential.
let's move on. Question 4. The biggest moment of the Levy era. In 2019, Spurs reached the Champions League final. And Hugo Lloris later remarked in his autobiography, and let me get this right. 4 days before the final, Daniel called us all together to announce we would each receive a luxury engraved watch with the player's name and the Champions League finalist. What kind of imbecile would do this? I ask you. What was the make of the watch? Was it A free McBreakfast Finding Nemo watch engraved with Champions League finalist 2019? Was it B, a lovely bit of Rolex that Del Boy? Was it C, an Avatar? We've got a bit of critical comment here. Was Hugo in? He was.
I thought he was a Blackadder the Third. It sounded just like the guy from the Scarlet Pimpernel episode in Blackadder the Third.
Nobody expected the Scarlet Pimpernel. So, what are we going for here, gents? I'm going to go to you, Connor, the artist formerly known as Levynomics.
I think it might be a Rolex, Dave.
You're going. Have you got a Rolex, Connor?
I haven't.
At the rate you're going with your last word on Spurs and
my Tottenham season ticket costs too much money, doesn't it?
Is Ricky Sachs going to get you an engraved last word on Spurs Rolex?
Only when he's been doing it for 25 years.
Yeah, when he reaches the check. Actually, Connor, here's a question for you. If last word on Spurs gets nominated for the podcast of the year and by some complete quirk of fate with a lot of cash changing hands, grumpy old Spurs is nominated for podcast of the year, on whose table are you going to sit on at the award dinner?
Whoever's more likely to win.
Yeah. No, Grumpies. I told you never forget your first, do you?
Yeah.
Gibbo, you're going to sit on the last word of Spurs table as well, aren't you?
If Connor lets me.
I can just see that happening. Right, okay.
I'm going to be Connor's +1, that's why.
Yeah, right. Yaz is going with B. Gibbo, what are you going with?
It's got to be a Rolex, hasn't it? Got to be.
All right, then. Hang on a second. What happened to your special guest? This isn't what I tuned in for. Well, as I said, we apologise. He couldn't make it today. And in true Levy fashion, we promised something and we didn't deliver. Sorry about that. Right, okay. So you're locking in a Rolex. Well, I can tell you something now. It was an Avatar. An Avatar watch. There we go. You didn't get that one in. All right, here we go. Let's move on. Don't forget, this is Mastermind. Remember, it's Levymind, like Mastermind. I've started, so I've finished. So, question number 5, and I promise you this is the last question. In February 2025, King Charles III visited Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and on his guided tour by Levy, was shown what activity. What was shown an activity? What was the activity taking place on the pitch? Was it A, medieval jousting on a steed between Donna Cullen and Chirpy the Cockerel? Was it B, the men's first team being put through set piece drills under the watchful eye of ex-coach Avuncular Australian Orange Postecoglou, or was it C, an NFL training session?
Dave, you know it. You know I know it was an NFL training session.
How would any of us be able to validate? I mean, I got questioned about one of the other questions before. So what are we what were we locking in here, Connor? What do you reckon the answer is?
Yeah, I think it might be an NFL training session. The other two, well, B is just so unbelievable, isn't it? It could be A, I suppose.
Dave, do we
Maybe.
have any?
I don't know what Donna is jousting with, but yeah, it could be A.
Do you have any evidence to support whatever the answer is?
Well,
just in case we don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, but at home, and before we get to the evidence, I want to point out something that was revealed in the green room before we start the show tonight. Gibbo is a massive he loves the NFL, and it's only something that he's truly revealed now. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. All these weeks that we've been doing this, we've been doing this months. We've been doing this, and he's neglected to mention the fact. Have you got a ticket for the next NFL at the game, Gibbo?
I do have a ticket for one of the NFL games at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and I am proud to say I enjoy NFL, and I do like the fact that the NFL play at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. However, I do not wish that to take anything away from the football side of the club. But yes, Dave, I'm an NFL fan.
And who's your favourite team? Is it the Broncos Steelers, or what were they called?
No, it's the Philadelphia Eagles. As our loyal viewers will know from where I've worn my cap, Dave.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Connor, are you a fan of rugby union with shoulder pads?
No, I think it's shite. But...
So again, the two vehement Levy outers who don't have anything to fulfill their lives. We could have started going to see the NFL at the stadium. We're both aligned on the fact that indeed NFL is shite. So Gibbo, in time-honoured tradition, who is that blonde lady on the pitch there?
I think her name is Phoebe, and she is an American who played for the Great Britain or English NFL ladies team, and she also commentates or sort of like helps host the NFL shows on Sky Sports.
There we go. Anyway, in time on, thank you very much for playing Levymind. I hope you all enjoyed it at home. And to finish off, we've only got a few minutes left. We still can do this, ladies and gentlemen.
Reasons to be cheerful. Reasons to be cheerful. Well, Dave, let me take over then. So obviously,
absolutely,
this be extreme. I know that this to answer this may be extremely difficult for you, but at the moment,
yes.
What reasons have you found to be cheerful for Tottenham Hotspur over the past week?
That's such a tough question, Gibbo. I'm struggling. I'm really scratching my head here. I'm going to go something a bit left to centre for you.
Okay.
It's the fact that Daniel Levy is no longer on the board of the football club.
Oh, okay. There's a shock. And Connor, will come to you. I don't know if you're going to go left field or there's anything else, but obviously reasons to be cheerful for you over the past week. Has anything major happened or anything that's really, made you happy about Spurs?
I was delighted to see that Tottenham had taken out a new loan facility with Macquarie Bank. That made me very, very cheerful.
Yeah,
Macquarie. So, sorry, Connor, it's Macquarie.
Macquarie, is it? Sorry. I know that. Yeah, they're Australian, aren't they?
Oh,
Bloody
yeah,
Australia.
bloody Australians.
And and Daniel Levy has gone. So for once, we're not struggling.
So look, right before we go,
hang on, Gibbo. What's your reason to be cheerful? Come on.
Reason. Well, like I said, it's sort of like I've never been big into the old sort of like Levy out stuff, have I? Do you know what I mean? I've just sort of took it on the chin. It is what it is, and you can't do it. But I always sort of knew or felt, excuse me, that I think on the football side of things that he was holding us back, never really like to dare is to do type thing. This is obviously very basic from my side of it, but I always, I never thought he was going to really push the boat out, go that extra mile just to sort of get us nearer. And whatever comes of it now, like I said, whether that be through the Lewis family or whether they sell the club to someone who hopefully has got more ambition to sort of like push us forward, you've got to sort of just hope that comes to fruition some way, and we can sort of like start looking forward again as a club more. I felt like we won a trophy last year, but we never sort of looked forward as much as we sort of hoped we would, really, did we? It didn't push us where we felt it should. So hopefully, we will start pushing forward now. So yeah, reasons to be cheerful. Maybe it's exciting, sort of like the unknown. So let's see where we go. But just wanted to, before we go, I just wanted to say to you, do like straight answer, Lewis family, or do you think we're going to sell? Ugh. Well, I don't know what else to say. There's not, like I said, the whole.
Gibbo and Cooler sitting on that fence together.
Well, no, the whole ownership thing doesn't really float my boat. Doesn't it doesn't? I don't really care.
You're too busy getting your grid. You get your gridiron gear on. He's getting his gridiron helmet. You'll be down the shop getting your beanie for winter.
So let's do 18 months time then.
Yeah.
Who's going to be running? Will there be new investors, or is it going to be the Lewis family? Davo first.
Well, I prefer the Lewis family to the Lighthouse family. Let me make that very clear to start with. So 18 months time.
Definitely not, by the way. Definitely not. I disagree with that.
What's that? Donna Cullen did
like the Lighthouse family.
You like the Lighthouse family? Did you just say that?
They're too middle of the road for Dave. He wouldn't have that. They're too
bit of Ocean Drive.
Oh, tonight we've had you liking Take That, you liking the Lighthouse family, and you been secretly going to the NFL at the stadium, and we've had that King Charles up for years. I need some time away from the show to reflect on what I want to do.
Dave.
I'll have a week. Well, I've got
Connor.
I'll ring up. So 18 months time, I think we will be having a bare minimum of new shareholders holding a shareholding in the club. Maybe not majority. They might do an Ineos, take out Levy, but that's it.
Connor.
I do. I do think we'll have some sort of new shareholders. As I say, I think they will replace Levy's. But just for Dave, I think this is quite apt at the moment. In the words of the Lighthouse family, just when you're close to tears, remember, someday it'll all be over. One day we're going to get so high. And I think we can all reflect on Daniel Levy's tenure with those fine words from the Lighthouse family.
Well, did you just put up a Lighthouse family lyric on one of your monitors and read it out to us? Is that what you just did there?
He just
it's just up here, mate. It's up here.
Hi from the Lighthouse family.
That's surely, if I'm getting a yellow card for the Talk Sport, that's got to be a yellow card. Looking up Lighthouse family
lyrics. Well, why did you have to look them up? I'd have known the Lighthouse family lyrics off the top of my head like that, Dave.
Do you know what I used to comedically call them? The Shite House
family. Yeah, Dave, I would never have guessed. And on that note, folks, thanks everybody for watching. Onwards and upwards. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
On you Spurs.